At 6:30 Tuesday morning, Country Paligo kicked off as emergency responders had to respond to a simulated downed aircraft, activating the Guam Fire Department. Chief Joey St. Nicholas.
Once we immediately get dispatched via our fire dispatcher who received the 911 call, we normally send out our first alarm, which consists of at least 2 fire trucks and an ambulance, to conduct initial assessments, set up an incident command and command post, as well as conduct a triage for any victims or patients that we may encounter.
St. Nicholas says in situations such as this, the first arriving unit establishes the incident command post, conducts an assessment, and compares it to the resources on hand to determine if backup is necessary.
If it appears that we're overwhelmed, then we start asking for additional help. Other factors also play a part, such as if we know that this is a military aircraft, we automatically inform the military and request their assistance if they're able to assist outside the gate.
Within 1 hour, the second scenario went into play, testing the Guam Memorial Hospital's ability to cope with various scenarios. GMH Administrator Joseph Verga.
There were actually active shooter, there was an explosion, there was a helicopter crash. There were multiple scenarios that we were managing today. And these exercises are very important, not only to improve, but to identify what works well, what doesn't work well, where we need to improve. And many of these things also often come down to communication.
Let me see your hands!
Then Tuesday afternoon, the exercise shut down a portion of Marine Drive as the Guam Police Department, U.S. Marshals, Homeland Security, Federal Protective Service, and court security officers worked to secure the perimeter of the district court. U.S. Marshal Frank Leon Guerrero.
Well, the emergency response situation over here, well, first of all, right directly across from the U.S. District Court, there was a simulated explosion of a vehicle. That detonated prior to a suspect running across the street, and we identified him to be an active shooter, dropped a suspicious package in front of the building. We secured the building and apprehended the active shooter.
According to Leon Guerrero, because there was a suspicious package, those within the courthouse sheltered in place to maintain security and allow responders to identify if there were any other threats.
Anytime there's a perceived threat to the building, we have multiple layers of security. We identified that immediately with an explosion that was identified across the street. We focus our security threat towards the front of the building.
And while all of these activities were taking place behind the scenes at the Emergency Operations Center and the Joint Information Center in Agana Heights, their capabilities were also tested as they compiled the information received from the various scenarios and disseminated it to the public. It is exercises such as the Country Paligo that are crucial in identifying gaps in our emergency response system, whether it's a downed aircraft, an active shooter, or even a car explosion. This experience that they gain through this exercise will ensure that they are better able to respond if a real emergency was to occur. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Jolene Tovis.